Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Karis May, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 2, Joanne Davey. Welcome. We warmly welcome the family of Petty Officer Bandsman William Johnston, whose story will be read shortly. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony from around Australia. During the ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by family and visitors. But to commence this evening's ceremony, I invite you all stand and join in singing the national anthem. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed at the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and other operations for over more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Petty Officer Bandsman William Johnston, who died on active service during the Second World War. Born in Melbourne on the 25th of December 1904, William Johnston was the first of 6 children born to Margaret and William Thomas Johnston of Ballarat. William Johnston moved to Western Australia at a young age and grew up in the Fremantle area and the eastern goldfields. He met Louise Bartlett at Cottesloe Beach, and on the 18th of June 1932, the pair married in Willoona, Western Australia. Together they had 2 children, Ferrell, born in 1936, and Robert, born in 1938. From 1931, Johnston worked as a milling plant operator and supervisor in the Willoona mine. He was also a member of the Royal Australian Naval Reserve, and on the eve of the outbreak of the Second World War was mobilised into the Royal Australian Navy. An accomplished musician, Johnston played the cornet and had played in dance orchestras in Willoona. Once in the Navy, Johnston served as the bandmaster of HMAS Lewin, naval base in Fremantle, and lived close by in a house which he built in East Fremantle. On the 8th of December 1940, Johnston and fellow Navy serviceman Robert Doust were killed in a tragic accident. On a Sunday afternoon, following a camping trip to Carnac Island, the private yacht that Johnston was sailing capsized on its return journey to Fremantle after it was caught in a sudden squall and rough seas. Aboard the yacht were 4 fellow servicemen and 2 children. After clinging to the capsized yacht for some time, concerned for the 2 children who sat atop the upturned craft, Johnston, joined by Robert Doust, decided to swim the 4 miles to shore to get help. The sea was very choppy, and after about 15 minutes, the survivors by the capsized yacht had lost sight of them. The 2 were never seen again. The survivors of the party were picked up by a passing yacht later that evening, and the police and Navy launched an unsuccessful search for the missing men. Johnston was 35 years old. His name is commemorated on the Plymouth Naval Memorial in Britain, which is dedicated to the thousands of British and Commonwealth sailors who lost their lives at sea or have no known grave. His name is also listed here on the Roll of Honour on your right, among some 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of honour, courage and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Petty Officer Bandsman William Johnston, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this evening's last post ceremony. We would like to thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today, and we wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.